Now, remember, the topics are, why are women leaving, or, the divorce rate aspect, right? And so Teresa said,
And typically with men, and we've all had relationships, so we know that when there's a shift in the pattern, typically that means they have their hand in the candy jar. That's typically what happens.
jar, quote unquote, because I would never say that, right? Because it sounds gay, you know. But what do y'all think about that sentiment based on the conversation?
I still hold my same position. I don't think that's not my first thought that he has his hand in somebody else's cookie jar.
Okay, okay.
That's
Um,
what I was saying
I
earlier.
don't.
Like that's the first thing that you go to, like instead of thinking it could be something else. But I do understand why most females do think like that. So,
you
but it's
understand it?
just like yeah, and this is based off of pattern. This is based off of the other women and things I've been around. Shit, a Lifetime movie, like all the things. Just like we know that that does happen, and men are you. That's just something I guess, or maybe a stereotype. But anyway, yeah, I understand, but I don't want
So
to think that.
let me ask a question.
Mm,
It Go ahead, Jalen. Before I say anything, go ahead.
I don't. Yeah, that could be a reason. I don't think it's a good enough reason, though. If I'm being
What?
honest, it being because of consistency. Is that what you said, or patterns
Yeah,
being
the
off?
pattern changes.
Yeah, I don't think for divorce. I don't know. I don't think because as women we break our patterns a lot.
Damn.
We are ever changing, so I don't think that's a good enough reason.
Okay, so you're saying based on the subject matter, him being changing of a pattern or being inconsistent in how his modus operandi, are women leaving for that purpose, or does it make them keen to other things? Like, would women leave because I like it. Are women leaving because he got a change in pattern, a change in disposition, a change in modus operandi? Is that a reason why women leave?
No, I don't think so. I think it's what they think the reason for the change of pattern is.
Right. Yeah.
Is
So
it a
if you so
is
so
it
so yeah,
unconfirmed? Like, is the reason unconfirmed?
No, I don't think so. I think like with the thing, the change in pattern, like I said earlier, it puts the antennas up. And so we're going to investigate because you know how it's women are. We're going to investigate, we're going to figure it out. And then once we figure out the core reason, we'll leave off of that.
So
So we're
does
going to figure it out first. We're not just going to go off, oh, my intuition said, no, we're, what's up, I guess, or most. Won't go off of that. We're going to try to figure out the exact source. So it'll be confirmed.
well, I don't know, because I hear about women checking phones and stuff like that, and if you already have that in the back of your head, then whatever it is that you read, you're going to take it as such. So in that case, something like that would be unconfirmed. You know what I mean?
I think it's a domino effect. I think you may notice that his patterns are off, and that leads you to do things that cause that leads to the detriment of the marriage. Maybe because women we kind of set the temperature a little bit with our moods. So if our mood is off, because I guess we notice he's not doing the things that he used to, and we're trying to figure it out, and we start stepping outside of ourselves and doing things that we crazy shit. Yeah, that could mess up a marriage and cause you to want to get a divorce because now the marriage is completely off kilter.
so Jalen, just make sure you saying that the pattern changes, right? Or whatever the case is, she making herself crazy?
I think the way you choose to handle it could make or break your marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could make
get it.
yourself go crazy just trying to figure it out. And he was probably just dealing with some internal shit the whole time. He probably wasn't cheating. There's nobody else. He's just trying to keep his problems away from you. And you just drove yourself insane trying to figure out what was going on.
You went off the freeway.
Yeah. Because I've heard it said before that most men aren't cheating. So I can't really be like, okay, yeah, your first thought should be cheating, but most men don't cheat. So if most men don't cheat,
I don't know.
It's
I don't
either they
know,
do or
'cause
they
I've
don't.
heard, you know what I'm saying? Like dealing with these motherfuckers online, I've heard both, right? I've heard that most niggas ain't cheating, and then I've also heard that all niggas is cheating. And
Do
to the
you
point where
think
they're
most
trying to
men are
convince
cheating?
me, to the point where they're trying to convince me that Kelly, your nigga cheating. I'm like,
But
you don't even
what do you
fucking know
think? Do
him
you
at
think
all.
most of them are cheating?
No, I don't.
Okay. So your first
But
thought wouldn't be
I can
that,
be stupid.
oh, he breaking a pattern. This nigga got somebody else, right?
No, that's not my first thought at all.
Exactly. So you would handle it differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. How you handle it could lead to the detriment of your marriage.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with you on that point.
That is
How you handle it, because you already have this preconceived notion in your head, and you're gonna operate off of that.
Do you think women are in that case based on this, right, Ressa? Like there's an inconsistency you see in a pattern, right? We use flowers, but it could be anything that you see like, damn, he getting home at 5 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock, right? He's sitting in the car when you look out the window, and for 15 minutes he talking on the phone, right? That didn't happen before. You know, there's a bunch of things, right, outside of just the flowers. And do you think women torture themselves with these negative thoughts? And in which case now the like Jalen was saying, the disposition of the entire household is thrown off. And now the marriage starts to dissolve because she made herself crazy. Considering based on surveys taken, men and women cheat at about 30%, both parties.
Absolutely. I do believe so. I do believe once she notices something, she's looking for other things as well. So it's going to be the flowers. It's going to be, like you said, sitting in the car. Because once you notice a change in behavior, you start paying attention to things and you start paying attention to how he moves. So then you want to know, well, what else is different? You see what I'm saying? You start paying attention to how often is he on his phone? Why is his lunch break so short today? Like we weren't on the phone as long. It's just like little things like that. I just feel as though once you notice a shift in a pattern, like you just want to pay attention to certain things just to make sure you're not overlooking anything. And I mean, I get it. Like nobody wants to be that person, but I would say the majority of women can say that they've been cheated on. And I think once you've experienced that, you never want to experience that again. So once you've been cheated on, you're going to do things differently going forward to try to protect yourself.
Okay.
Then don't get married. That's the ultimate protection. Don't get married.
But when you get married, you're not going into it with the thought that this person's going to cheat on me, because
Yes,
prior to
you
the
are.
marriage, you were getting your flowers every week.
No,
You see what I'm saying? It changed after the marriage. It
Exactly.
changed a
So
few
once
years
you stop
later.
getting your flowers, all of a sudden you think the worst. You think
Right.
that he's possibly cheating instead of thinking something is possibly wrong with him that I don't know about. Not that. It's
I mean, that's
who
one
else
of
is
the
this
things
man
that I'm
with?
thinking. I mean, I'm not automatically thinking, oh, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if
I'm
he's
extrapolating
sitting
it
in
to how most of us think because we got girlfriends
right.
that think this way.
Yeah, and I would say most of us think this way. Most of us realize a shift in pattern when our man is doing something differently, and most of us pay attention to it. Yes, that's what most of us are doing.
It's not just pay attention, it's a hyperfixation, an obsession. If I were going to be honest, it becomes an obsession to the point where, like I said before, we start acting crazy because we're literally trying to figure it out. And it's killing us that we don't know why. And to the point, we're willing to throw away the relationship because we don't know why.
But how is it acting crazy if you're just paying attention to the shift in his pattern? You're in a subtle way, you're noticing certain things. So that doesn't necessarily mean you're calling out everything that you're seeing. Because keep in mind, what do they say? Women, we detach emotionally and mentally first. So we're not calling him out in everything that we see. We're paying attention to the pattern. We're probably discussing it with our girlfriends, getting feedback on the situation, because that's what we do.
Yes.
And depending on what the girlfriends are saying, that's how we move accordingly. So now if they're saying, girl, you know that man would never cheat on you, we probably would leave it alone. But if the girlfriends are saying, girl, now you know Tyrone just cheated on you 3 times already, you're going to pay a closer eye to things that's going on.
Hearing that, getting advice from people in my family who have been married for well over 30 years, those things that we do, I've done it too, could lead to the destruction of a marriage, because it's supposed to be you two first. We say that in the it's us first. Through thick and thin, it is us first. Meaning, the first thing I'm gonna do is not go to my girlfriend. The first thing I'm gonna do is go to you. That's what I'm gonna do first, because we're married. I'm not married to my girlfriend. I'm married to you.
Well,
so why would I be asking my girlfriend what's wrong with you when I should be in tune with you? And if you're not ready to tell me, I should be willing to accept that for the time being, because you're not ready to talk about it, or you may not be the type to want to talk about it. Well, however your man is, I don't know. However,
but what if she's not 100% sure? She may not be 100% sure what's going on. That's why she's going to her sisterhood, her peers. This may be a group of other married women who went through similar situations. So the sisterhood is not always women that don't want to see you succeed. I mean, they may provide her with very well good advice. But I'm just saying, we're talking about if she's fascinated or ruminating over what her man is doing, I mean, at some point she's going to speak to somebody if she's not addressing it with him.
I agree. You know what most of the married women would say, at least with the ones that I know, they would tell me to leave it alone. Ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing been brought to you. Nothing's happening. Girl, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
That ain't your business. Let that man handle what he gotta handle. If it's not going to, if it's ready, if it needs to be revealed to you, God will reveal it to you in time. That is what I get told every time from the people who care about me, who want to see me succeed in my relationship, who wants to see me get married. The ones who be telling me, girl, check his phone, girl, do this, girl, follow him to the store. He said he going to the store, girl, follow him to the store. Them the ones that I should not be listening to, that we shouldn't listen to, because it leads to the destruction of a marriage. We're not talking about a relationship. We're talking about a marriage. That's why I said in the beginning, it's a covenant between two people that people aren't necessarily understanding that they may not be aligned, because you're doing all this extra shit when the real truth is y'all aren't aligned in values. Y'all aren't aligned in what sustains a lifelong commitment. You guys just aren't aligned. So you just shouldn't have gotten married in the first place. And now you're married.
I agree with you, but we're talking about most women. So do you think most women are doing what you're doing, or do you think most women are doing what I'm doing?
I said we all doing it. I'm doing what you... Carissa, I swear to God, in my current relationship, I've definitely gone to my girlfriend. Yes, I'm saying we all do it. I'm not saying I'm exempt. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the advice that I've gotten from people who have been married for so long are telling me that is not conducive for that type of marriage. It's not. You will forever be stuck in short-term relationships operating in that way, or possibly end up divorced. Because it's crazy. It's not going to be healthy.
Yeah, but also that's to the conversation as far as the things that we're doing and how we're handling the relationship or the marriage that you are in is why you started acting crazy and why you thought to leave.
Yeah, the inconsistency. I agree.
No, not
yes.
just the inconsistency. I'm talking about this is after. I'm saying after we done recognize the inconsistency and you go to your girlfriends and you're telling them, like when you're doing all of that, we've already kind of in our mind, in our crazy mind, confirmed that he's doing X, Y, and Z instead of going to him first and seeing what's going on. So
Right, because
that's
whatever preconceived notion that you have, you're taking that preconceived notion to your girls,
the
and
amen choir.
you're leading with that.
Yeah.
So that would be the problem with thinking that there's automatically something going on outside of the house as opposed to something that's going on within the house.
And then why you leave? Hey, what was that? Tyler Perry movie with old girl in it, tragedy, and she was mad. Old dude had she did all that stuff for him, and then he got successful, and he went back to the girl. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Is a crime or something? But she did all this stuff to build him up, and then she went crazy and tried to like kill him and his new girl. Like it'd be stuff like that, like in your
Oh
own
yeah,
mind. Like that shit was crazy. If y'all watch it, it's good. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I ain't seen that Tyler Perry movie.
yeah, Taraji in it, you know, she played good crazy every day.
yeah. I think that inconsistency can be pinpointed. I think if you are then seeking counsel from people who are both biased and have a preset position, and then will project their experience onto you based on what Caress is saying most women think, that seems like a poor source to look for information and clarity. Right. And so I think what would happen if most women are running to a person who is projecting because they feel the same way, they have the same notions, I think that they would be doing themselves a disservice. Right. That would help dissolve the marriage. You know, it's interesting. I went to DC to DJ like a few parties for New Year's and all that. And I remember my wife was talking to one of my friends' girls, and she's like, I don't know where he's at. He's been out. It's 4:00. It's New Year's. And my wife's like, it's New Year's, right? And HAMP's DJing, and the clubs in DC don't close at 4 till 4. So he probably not home. But, in her mind, she going crazy. She's like, you can't control nothing no men do. And that was coming from a married woman, right? Just in terms of knowing that there's an ebb and flow and there's the tough time, all this shit. And it's almost like she told her, you worrying about the wrong shit. To Jalen's point of a tangible example of talking to a person who's married, hopefully for the long haul, and people who are maybe wanting to or not or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I think that can definitely. Now, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that really hurts relationships? This is slightly outside of the conversation, but I wanted to get your opinion. Do you think that really hurts relationships? People have these outside counsels?
No, depending on who the counsel is.
Yeah, so basically from most people.
Most people, yes, because most people aren't discerning that their friends aren't good people to seek counsel from for that particular issue. They could be good friends, but because of whatever they've gone through, their opinion might not be a healthy one to listen to. I'm not saying they're bad friends. Yeah. But everybody ain't worth listening to. That's a lot of things.
Yeah. Especially if they haven't been inside a relationship and maintained it through like some kind of hardship or anything like that, then their first mind is going to be, that bullshit.
Yeah, 100%. So here's what the baseline of this first part, right? I think consistency matters. I'm thinking do we be cognizant of dismissing people being inconsistent on things that we deem frivolous, superficial, not making or breaking, because I am a firm believer in how you do anything is how you do everything. And I've seen people who are inconsistent in all aspects of their life don't get far. The cats who miss football practice, the cats who are late to football practice, they late to work too. You know what I'm saying? So I just see it kind of that way. I think that then when he's inconsistent, for you to go to the extreme of somebody else getting these flowers, I think is detrimental. And I'm wondering, do we reflect on, am I the issue why he's inconsistent? Right? I think that's an easier thing to discern first, and then you can go searching for whatever the other reason is. And I just wonder, do most of us actually blame ourselves? You know?
Yeah, I would say that would be the problem if you automatically thinking that, that he cheating instead of asking him what's going on between us, open up that door for him to, air whatever grievances that he may have that you might not, readily recognize and everything like that, how you may have changed your pattern in some kind of way. You want to leave that door open for him to go on ahead and be able to express that so y'all can actually fix the root cause of the issue instead of just, piling bullshit on top of bullshit.
Last part of inconsistency. For some reason, we talked about this, but we have to mention it, and then we can move on to another reason, right? Lex, the sex thing continues to come up. It just does. Sex is in plethora 90 days. Then 6 months, it starts to fall off. Then 1 year, then 2 years. And it stops being so abundant. Right? What does that mean? How does a person respond? What's the wrong response? Well, let's say we on some Huggy Bear shit and sex is starting to, and I'm relaying the information that's like, yo, this ain't it. What happens when she's inconsistent in that aspect? What should happen? Should he dissolve the marriage? I'm speaking secularly because most people are secular. Should he dissolve the marriage in that aspect?
I don't think he should dissolve the marriage if he's brought this to her attention and they've had a they did the song and dance to understand what's going on. If he's done that and then it still doesn't change, I don't see anything wrong with getting a divorce.
Okay, so he should divorce her or just get a side chick?
Nah, you should divorce her.
So I have to dissolve my marriage. I have different things we've amassed. We have children, but you're unwilling to fulfill this need, and so therefore I have to dissolve how my life looks.
I mean, but when you, and I preference it with, if you tried everything, right? Hey, you put it on you. It was like, did I do something? She said no. Then you try to see if there was something wrong with her. You try to figure all this out. And then there's still no change. You go to the counselor, we get all this stuff done, and there's still no change. Yeah.
Do you think men are asking the right questions regarding why sex has fallen off?
No, I don't think so. However, again, that's why I preference, if you really love her and you don't want your stuff to dissolve, like you say, you got all this stuff set up, then you're gonna look in other ways and try to figure this out. I'm saying divorce should be the actual last thing. Like, if you really tried to see and figure it out, what else you gonna do? Like, not get a side shit.
Okay. So you're saying, as opposed to we talking about it, let's say I'm asking the right questions regarding like maybe health, let's say. Right? Because most of us don't give a fuck about that shit. But maybe we ask some like health centric questions, and maybe there's a period in which you going through something that, your body's not aligning like that. I think if we ask the right questions, we can get more clarity.
Right.
However, most of what women voice is they're not in the mood. You see, even when we talk on the panels, most women don't bring up, hey, I'm going through something, my body changing. Most things that's voiced is I'm not in the mood. And so now it simply implicates I guess I have to put her in the mood or whatever the case is, you know?
Warm up the engine.
And then it's crazy because you walk outside, the engines is warm.
That's the thing where I think that we play a part in that lack of communication, right? Because say even if he is asking the wrong questions, I think it would be up to us to go on ahead and provide the correct information as opposed to just answering just a direct question. Also, too, I know that with us, with our lack of communication or whatever, we might say I'm not in the mood, but the reason why we're not in the mood is because of an underlying issue that's going on within the relationship as to why we're not, we're not vibing right now. You know what I mean? Outside of just a straight up health reason. You know what I'm saying? Me and you just ain't vibing right now. But we'll just say, oh, I'm not in the mood. And then, you never do resolve that underlying issue. So now you're always not in the mood. But that's just the answer that we would give them.
Yeah, and see that it'd be hard to implicate him if you're not given the information.
Right.
Right.
And so then what
How's he
happens?
supposed to be able to fix it?
So then what happens, right? You asking the questions, right? Men don't fully understand all the things that you guys' bodies go through. We hear it, but like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan till they actually get punched, right? So we just don't deal with that 28-day shit, menopause, whatever other weird shit y'all go through, So we just asking very surface level. You good? You straight? You know what I mean? Like, you all right? You feel good? Like, we ain't asking about fibroids and all that other shit. And then you giving like disingenuous answers. And yet the problem still exists. What's the next step? Are you telling men just leave? Because here's what'll happen, right? Let's say he doesn't leave and he gets the outside chick, right? He fucked that relationship up.
It would be easy to blame it on that. It's much easier to blame it on that as opposed to looking to what's going on in the four walls of y'all's house. So yeah, you can push them to that and then be like, see, you cheated and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You'll never have to address anything else.
What you think, Ressa? Like, how do most women handle that? Because, right, Ressa, you ain't giving him no cheeks, right? And then he's saying, listen, man, yo, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that's been conversed about, not something like just frivolous, right? And this happens. And so then it happens, right? He gets smoked, meaning he get caught. And then the next step is she mad? Or is she also extending grace and understanding? Damn.
Honestly, this is a hard one.
I know. It's a good one, though. Like, we need to understand this conceptually.
It is. Because I really do believe that, I don't know. I'm of the mindset, maybe because I'm not going through it, but I feel as though when you're with your spouse, I don't think you should withhold sex. Like I don't think that should be a thing. So it's really hard for me to to like, speak on that. But I think if it's a medical reason and maybe it's painful for her, I would hope he would be understanding about that and give her some time as she's going through her treatment. But yeah, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
Well,
Is
see,
that
even
broke
with
too, Kristen?
even with even with the not withholding of sex, right? If you are not in the mood and you just giving it to them, some men don't like unenthusiastic. Some men don't like starfish.
Yeah. I mean,
Most men don't like the
if I'm not
starfish.
into it, as long as it's still available to you, it's still available to you. You see what I'm saying? It's not like I'm gonna lay there with my legs crossed. Like, if I'm sleeping, if you're gonna wake me up, you're gonna wake me up. That's what it is. But I don't feel as though like I would be the one to like withhold it, like wrap myself up in a blanket or put a pillow between us. Like I don't see me doing that.
Oh, so you just
Yeah,
giving
but then
lackluster cheeks, and you like, hey, at least you got some.
I mean, listen, he can't say that I withheld. That's all I was gonna say. He cannot say that I
I got you.
withheld.
Chili's it is, huh? Go ahead, Kelly. You want to say something?
no, I was gonna say that's just like withholding. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like just given my experience or whatever like that, you they can tell when if they know you, they can tell when you faking it or whatever. Ooh ah ooh, shut up, man. You ain't ooh ah
Wow.
ooh nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really feeling this shit like that. You know what I mean? They can tell. If they've been with you for a while, they can tell when you ain't really in it like that, into it like that. Pause.
I think. I
So it's
think.
just like it's just like withholding, or else he's basically masturbating. He's just masturbating in you.
Yeah. Dang, Callie.
Yeah, man, real shit. I think that we gotta think through that one, man, because it's a conundrum. It really is. Damn, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.